Chapter 10. Driving Down Quit Street. As I sat behind the computer finishing up my memo, I had a look in my eye and butterflies in my stomach, like a kid writing out his wish list to Santa. But it wasn't to Santa. It was to the sheriff. I was graduating from the police academy, and we had received a memo that there were 3 spots available for a boot camp. To qualify for the boot camp, you needed to sign up, be selected, and have one of the top 3 test scores in the Drill Instructor Academy. There were only 3 spots available. This sounded like an exciting challenge to me, and I couldn't get my memo in fast enough. After graduating from the police academy, I had been assigned to work in the Special Operations Division in the maximum security area of the jail while waiting for the boot camp selection process to end. Approximately 2 weeks later, 15 other deputies and I were accepted into the Drill Instructor Training Academy tryouts. Immediately doing the math, knowing that there were only 3 spots available and 16 sign-ups, including me, I knew that 13 individuals would not be selected to move forward to the boot camp. The Drill Instructor Training Academy that we were going to be attending was modeled after the Parris Island Marine Corps training format that they use for their drill instructors. It was the real deal. We were becoming drill instructors with law enforcement capacity. We'd be dealing with high-profile felons and be attempting to rehabilitate individuals with 5 major felonies on their record as their last stop before doing hard time. Day 1 of the Drill Instructor Training Academy was a verbal and mental beatdown that I didn't see coming. After just completing the Structured Police Academy, we were now going through a training that felt more like a Navy SEAL tryout. "Yeah, that's right. Ring the bell if you want to quit," the corporal would say, and quit they did. People were dropping left and right on day 1. We started out with 16 deputies, and by the end of that day, we were at 7. As I stood in formation with the remaining deputies, the corporal yelled out, "I've got the fuzzy dice. Who's laughing now?" I had no idea what that meant, but I couldn't resist laughing under my breath. At that moment, I became the immediate center of attention, and not in a good way. The corporals would repeatedly ask, "What's so funny, rookie? Do you have something to say? Say it now, rookie." Or, "Why aren't you looking me in the eye, rookie?" And, "What's so funny? You want to be the joke teller? Tell a joke, rookie. Go ahead, say it." The corporal would shout so close to my face that the brim of his hat touched my nose. I looked him in the eye, and it only got worse. "You staring at me, son? You staring at me, rookie? The paint's not even dry on your badge, and you're out here laughing? Please, rookie, tell me what was so funny." In a low-key voice, I just said, "Fuzzy dice, sir." The remainder of the day was approximately 45 minutes long, all of which I was required to run the parade deck. It was August in Florida, and I was running a parade deck that was the size of 6 basketball courts put together. While running, I was ordered to say, "I've got the fuzzy dice, Corporal. I've got the fuzzy dice." To make matters worse, the remaining deputies were all ordered to do push-ups because of what I did. Yeah, that's right. I pulled a private pile on day 1. By the 3rd day, we were down to 5 deputies, with only 3 spots slated for the boot camp. By the end of the week, we were down to 4 remaining deputies, one of which would end up being reassigned to the main jail. This is where the real challenge began for me. The remaining deputies, aside from me, were all former Marines. This academy was all familiar territory for them, and it was all new to me. In addition to everything else, I was learning drill and ceremony. All of my cadences and all the military specifics needed to graduate from the Drill Instructor Training Academy for the very first time. After training completed one day, I was driving home, and that quiet voice of doubt entered my head. "Why are you doing this? There's only 3 spots open. The other 3 deputies are experienced Marines, and you're the 4th man? You don't stand a chance." I can honestly tell you that even after training my entire life in the martial arts, taking many black belt tests, and testing myself in many physical challenges in a variety of athletics, this was the first time that I ever experienced Quit Street. It's a street that you tend to drive down when you don't want to slam it into that extra gear, when you can't see the outcome because you haven't put in the work, when there's no guarantees, and stopping before you complete something major is just easier. That's Quit Street. That's the first time I ever experienced it, and I can honestly say one of the only times. The Drill Instructor Training Academy was incredibly difficult, and I was competing for a spot against experienced military personnel. I was only a law enforcement officer. My learning curve was vast, and I had a lot of time and knowledge to make up in order to get to their level. Since this was the first time that I had ever experienced wanting to quit for the sake of quitting, I also experienced a first-time emotion. Disgust. Disgust for the thought of quitting. Ultimately, the disgust for myself wanting to quit outweighed my desire to quit. There it was. I had found my extra gear. I'd always known that it was there somewhere. Then the voice in my head was saying something completely different. It was saying, I'm going to do this. It's going to take excellence, but I will get this done. I will outwork those that I'm going up against in order to get the spot in this boot camp that I came here for. For the next 10 days, I stayed out after training. I'd been on the parade deck for an extra 3 hours, or for as long as I had sunlight, honing in on my skills, studying my drill and ceremony, and refining my voice for a proper cadence. I would go home at night and study all of the terms and phrases that I had to know line by line, word for word, while all of the drill instructors were yelling at you and throwing objects by your head. Terms and phrases such as position of attention, dress right dress, about face, stand at ease, and many more. Typed out, they were 3 to 4 inches long in a paragraph on a sheet of paper, and we could not get them wrong. We could not mistake and for on or the for it. Everything had to be recited precisely as it was written on the paper, and it had to be said accurately in a highly stressful environment. It felt like every night, sunburnt from training 10 hours a day in the hot Florida sun, I would fall asleep at my desk with the study materials surrounding me. On day 10, after we had finished up all of our testing, I was approached by the corporal, who informed me that not only did I outscore 2 of the other 3 deputies, but that they created a 4th spot so that all of us could be assigned the boot camp. I went down Quit Street for half a second. I found my extra gear. I took action. I wrote my own script in the situation, and they created a 4th spot. They did this because all of us did an outstanding job. One of the proudest moments in my law enforcement career was earning that drill instructor hat with the badge on the front. Even amongst all of the black belts that I've worked hard for and earned, this one ranks at the top. For specific reasons, I went in as a rookie, a subordinate, as someone who did not have the same experience as those I was in competition with. During those 10 days, everything that could go against me did go against me, and I didn't need to do anything special other than hustle and work hard to earn that spot. Being awarded my drill instructor cover was an extremely proud moment for me, and yet another template for future success, and a cornerstone in understanding what it takes to become an E-class individual. After that experience, I continue to remember and remind those around me that Quit Street is the road to nowhere.